Hi, Kim Stevens here from the Fox 26 Newsroom, and we are looking forward to savings, maybe some deals. Now that the Federal Reserve cut interest rates this fall, there is a curiosity as to how will the chips fall in the favor of the consumer, especially as we are getting to the end of the year and entering the holidays soon enough. I'm not ready for it. But anyway, we know it's here, whether we're ready or not. Ron Griffin is here to help us know that, especially if we are in the market for maybe a new car or new to us, will we find a deal? Rod, hi.
Hi, Kim. How are you?
Good, thank you. All right, you are with Experian. We've talked before about money savings before, but now we're going to talk about cars. And is the Fed rate cut recently going to help people who are in the market for a car or are looking to sell a car?
Maybe. I mean, and that's always the question. Seems like when we talk about anything related to credit, the answer is it depends. And it depends on whether that interest rate remains low. If further cuts come, there's already talk that perhaps they won't. And so that could result in, the interest rates going back up a bit again. We don't know, or perhaps staying the same. Either way, when the Fed makes changes to the interest rate cut, that's the interest rate that banks pay for money, and then that potentially could be passed on to you. We're not sure. And so that means as consumers, it's really important for us to continue to find ways to save money wherever we can so that we can perhaps buy a new car, perhaps reduce your insurance costs for that car. And I think that's a big one. And that's what people have been telling us is just from an insurance perspective, we know insurance rates have gone up for cars about 20% over the last year. And people are trying to save money there because that's taking money away from putting gas in perhaps the car they have, or maybe getting a new one, or a new, as you said, new to you car. Either way, reducing insurance costs is a big expense, and that's something that has to be considered when you are looking at perhaps purchasing a new vehicle.
So am I understanding you correctly? Can I call my insurance or get online, I suppose, and say, hi, I'm Kim, and I would like you to drop my insurance rate. Will you do that, please? Does that ever happen?
You certainly can. It never hurts to ask. Insurance is complicated. And what people tell us, and we did a survey recently, people tell us that they hate to shop for insurance. It's complicated, it's confusing, but you should, because it's going to help you save potentially significant amounts of money. You should use your buying power. Experian actually has introduced an insurance shopping marketplace that can help you make that easier. We work with 40 of the top insurance providers in the country. What we find is when people use our marketplace, and you can do it just by going to Experian.com, you can click the insurance, you'll see the link usually in the upper right corner, I think. But if you use the insurance marketplace and change rates, we're finding on average people save about $800 a year, maybe a little bit more. So it's significant, and you should always be looking for better rates, especially if you have a good credit history. They use credit scores for insurance purposes that are not the same scores that a bank uses. They are predicting the likelihood you'll pay your insurance premium on time. So it's a financial decision tool. If you have good credit scores, you can tell your insurance provider, hey, my scores are good. They show I'll pay your premiums well. I drive well. Also important that I don't have any claims, haven't had any accidents, that sort of thing. Maybe they should lower your rates. So that's kind of key. We help people compare apples to apples to make sure you're getting the same insurance coverage. That's really important when you're shopping as well, to make sure that you're getting the coverage you need and that it complies with the laws where you live, because they do differ from state to state. And so we help make that easier for you.
So we need to do that then. If we want to get a new car, or again, new to us, we need to make sure that our insurance is set up and kind of tied up first before we go searching for that car, right?
Yes, you want to make sure that when you go to buy that car, you're already insured, because to drive it off the lot, that insurance will apply for you. You'll need that, or the dealer might not let you take the car. So you need to have insurance in place. If you have good rates, to start with, it's going to put you in a better bargaining position. It's going to help you know how much you can afford for a car payment, for example, because you know where your insurance rates are going to be. And you should talk to your insurance companies before to make sure that it's the coverage you'll need. When you buy a new car, if you get a loan, that can change things, because with a loan, you're going to have full coverage. You might look at, if you don't have a car loan, having less coverage. If your car's paid for, don't have any debt on it, you can reduce your coverage potentially to meet the need for that particular vehicle.
Wow, that's an interesting thing. Is there a time of year when doing this or making changes or getting a car or holding off is a better time?
No, it's not a seasonal thing. And that's another thing that our marketplace can help you with. When you change providers with us, we will monitor those 40 carriers or 40 providers. And if we find a better rate, we'll do the shopping for you. We'll let you know, hey, we found a better rate, whether it's now or in the spring or in the summer or somewhere in between. We will let you know so that you can consider changing carriers again, or ask your current carrier for a better rate, because you can tell them, hey, I have a better opportunity. Do you want to continue to keep me as a customer? So use your buying power.
Through your Experian research, experienced Experian research, have you found that more people right now, maybe, or over the last couple of months, are buying more new or used, or insuring more new or used cars?
Well, we're seeing slight increases in used car buying, and that's been sort of the trend. As car prices might start to come down a bit, they have in the used market a touch. That's increased the buying there. Still very expensive, and so car shopping hasn't been quite as robust as it was several years ago. From an insurance standpoint, they're telling us they are definitely shopping. About 60%, almost 65% told us they plan to change carriers in the next year. 30% say within the next 6 months. So they're shopping for insurance and better terms and rates, because it's such a significant expense. When you're trying to put fuel in the car, but you have to put it toward your insurance instead, you can't go as far. And
Yeah,
so
that's
big
yeah.
place to save money.
My husband keeps getting calls and emails from a couple of different car dealerships, and new and used, saying,
Yeah.
we want to buy your
Yeah.
truck because it's a value. And he's like, shoot, man, I bet I just like it so much. I mean, what do you do when you get something like that? Because you could make a lot of money.
Well, you have to weigh the pros and cons, obviously. If you get the money and you sell your truck, now you need to buy a new truck.
Right?
So then what do? The money's gone potentially, and now you have a more expensive truck. So something to think about. However, you can use that money for a down payment. If you're ready to buy a new vehicle, it might make sense, because you can lower the cost for getting into that new car or new truck in this case. By the way, I live in Texas, so everybody, I think by state law, has to have at least one truck. They want to buy mine too. So I get those calls as well. I'm not ready yet.
Yeah, you must have larger garages in Texas too. Man, some of these trucks are big.
Oddly, no. And I have a Honda truck, so they would tell me it probably doesn't even qualify as a truck for some of the folks I know. And it doesn't fit in my garage. So
Oh,
it's a whole other issue related to insurance, right?
that's
So
true. That's true, because now you have to park it outside rather than inside. Okay, so a final last piece of advice to people out there who are trying to save money and possibly, bring in a new vehicle into their life.
yeah, when you're looking at buying a new car, when you're looking at insurance, kind of the same kind of things apply. You need to look at, particularly when you're thinking about insuring a new vehicle, where do you live? Depending on your rates will vary. If you live in a place with a lot of traffic, a lot of drivers, the cost may be higher. Your age will play a factor. As my hair's gotten grayer, my rates have gone down a bit. I don't drive as much. I don't have as many claims. They assume that I drive more safely. I hope that's true. So that's a serious issue. You need to look at the kind of vehicle you're buying. Some vehicles, more luxury vehicles, are going to cost more to insure and to buy. So that can be an issue. So you need to look at all of those factors when you're buying a car, and as it relates to insurance as well.
Okay, great. Rod, we love talking with you because you help empower us to go out, do the work. It's not a lot, but it is worth it to save some money. We appreciate that.
Absolutely is worth doing the work, and we're happy to help you with that work and make it easier for you. So check out our insurance marketplace. Might save almost $1,000 a year. That could help you into that new vehicle. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Hi, I'm Monty Torres with Fox 26 News on YouTube. Thank you for checking out our YouTube channel, where we have loads of great content for you to choose from. And while you're here, why not click on the subscribe button right here? That way you can stay in touch with all the latest breaking news, everything news related within the Central Valley. And thank you for watching.